Hello and welcome. My name is Dylan Barrell. I'm going to show you how you can embed accessibility testing into your existing end-to-end tests with almost zero effort. So you're looking at my code here in my little recipe dashboard project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a button with a question mark in it to add a help to my settings page. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to commit that to my repo. Git commit. I'm going to say feature add help button. Oh, I need to turn off my linter so that it doesn't complain. So I'm going to do no verify here. All right, great, that's committed. Now let me push this up to GitHub. So I'm going to push it up to GitHub, and now my code is in GitHub. If I switch to GitHub now, you will notice GitHub has sees the new code. I'm going to create a pull request. When the pull request runs, what you'll notice is we have some CI/CD processes set up here. And this will work for any CI/CD process that you have. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be GitHub Actions. But you'll notice that this is running some tests for me. So let's take a look at those tests while they run. If I go to my tests, you'll notice the first test tests the dashboard itself, and it loads the page and does some functional testing. The second test also does a similar thing. It loads the page and does some other tests on that. Let's look at the settings page, which we just changed. It loads the page, does some tests. In this case, it's testing for the dark theme switcher. And then the second test it does actually changes the dark theme from one value to another. So that's just functional testing. Right, let's go back and have a look at the results of the testing so far. All right. You'll notice that the Cypress tests have finished running, and now I have inserted into my pull request the results of the accessibility testing. How did it do that? Well, let's go back to the code and take a look at our testing setup. If we go to the setup, the Cypress config for this, you'll notice that there's a couple of things in here that are not usual. The first thing is we're pulling in this Xcore watcher module. And then we're configuring that module to include a couple of things in the Cypress config. So we're giving it our API key. That's how it knows who we are when it sends data to our server. The second thing we do is just setting up a flush command that runs after each test suite has run, so that all the data makes it to the server. And that's it. The magic of X Watcher together with X Developer Hub is that X Watcher will insert itself automatically to any test. It'll look for changes to the page, whether the page loads or the page mutates, and it'll analyze automatically for accessibility, send that data to the server. And then when all the testing is done, the server will analyze that and compile reports for you. So it's set and forget. If somebody comes and changes the test, the accessibility testing will change with it. If somebody adds a full new feature and adds a whole new suite of tests, they'll automatically pick up accessibility testing. So that's zero maintenance on your accessibility testing. Let's take a look at some of this reporting. So if I click into this, the first thing you'll notice is that the reports know about my Git project. This is great. It's not dependent on GitHub. It's only dependent on Git. So first of all, you'll see my main branch over here. And I can see what the accessibility of that is. But then you'll see this new branch that I just added. And you can see that it has added 2 new accessibility issues. So let's take a look at those. If I click into this, it gives me a great report with all sorts of information to help me prioritize what I want to work on. But the most important thing for the pull request reviewer is what is this pull request doing to change this? So by clicking on that new issues number, I get it filtered down to just the issues that are new. And I can see that they come down to those 2 issues that would have been discovered by my linter. The first thing is that image that's missing an alt attribute, and the button that doesn't have a button name. And this is great. But not only has it done that, with all the different states that my test generates of that particular page, it's generated multiple issues for the same element on that page. And we've detected that, and we've collapsed all of those issues into a single issue. So we've eliminated all those duplicates. That's fantastic. Really, really useful information for a developer. So now the reviewer can see exactly what's changed, and the developers themselves can see exactly what changed, and they can make a decision on how to move forward. By going back up to the main branches page, I can see the main branch or the default branch itself. And the default branch is what everything else gets compared against, because that's what you're going to be merging into. But if your default branch is also your feature branch or your release branch, then you can see the change from release to release and how things are changing over time. So here you can see that this particular commit, commit number 90, fixed 2 accessibility issues. And then the commit before that added 1 accessibility issue. So it's a great way to see how things are changing over time. The other thing you'll notice is that there's an accessibility threshold, and this is configurable. By going to my settings, I can actually set how that is determined. So in my developer hub here, I can see my configuration for my accessibility threshold, and I can say I want to take all issues into account, like we saw there. Or I can say, you know what really matters to me is new issues. I may have a huge legacy of issues, and I can't address them all now, but I want to make sure that at least the issues that are new, the code that's new is not introducing any new issues. So I can change my accessibility threshold to say, I want 0 new issues. And then I can also modify that and say, well, maybe I'll allow the minor issues through, but I certainly want the critical, serious, and moderate to be fixed. And by setting that, that'll apply, and then that'll automatically also apply in terms of whether that GitHub action fails and how it fails or succeeds as part of your CI/CD process. If you want to learn more, contact us. We're at www.dq.com.